Okay, so good afternoon. This is our next topic for second quarter, okay, for module number 9, which includes the first lesson about understanding emotions. Okay, so our main objective in studying about the understanding emotions is to discuss that understanding the intensity and differentiations of emotions may help in communicating emotional and to explore one's positive and negative emotions and how one expresses or hides them. Demonstrate and create ways to damage various emotions. Okay, so those are the objectives. So, as an overview, you may have heard the people mention about the word or an IQ. Okay? Most especially when they were talking about the intellectual or how smart a person or someone is. Halimbawa na lamang is if someone talks about his or her brother, sasabihin niya is, my brother doesn't have to study as much as I do because he is really have a high IQ. 'Di ba? So, pag sinabi nating IQ class, it's about intellectual ano. It stands for intellectual quotient, okay? And it can help when it comes on predicting how well someone may do when it comes on academics. Okay? So, IQ is just one measure for your ability. No? So, yung IQ daw is isa lang yan sa mga paraan upang masukat yung abilidad ng isang individual. Okay? So, there are many other kinds of intelligence in addition to this intellect, wherein these are the different examples. Let's say, we have the spatial intelligence. Pag sinabi natin spatial intelligence, it is the ability to think in 3D or the ability to see things in other perspective. Okay? Isang halimbawa nito is yung mga magagaling magpinta, 'di ba? Yung magaling mag-drawing. Yan. So, they have what we call the spatial intelligence. Okay? Next one is the musical intelligence, which is the ability to recognize rhythm, cadence, and tone. Yan. So, another type of intelligence here are the athletic, artistic, and mechanical abilities. Okay? Then, isa sa mga importante na dapat na maintindihan natin is what we call intelligence when it comes on emotions or what we call emotional intelligence. Okay. So, ano nga ba yung tinatawag nating emotion? Okay? So, when we mention about or when we discuss about emotions, sabi dito, it is a conscious mental reaction wherein an individual subjectively experience as a strong feeling usually directed toward a specific object. Halimbawa, nagagalit siya, natatakot siya. Okay? So, typically, it is accompanied by what we call physiological and behavioral changes in their body. Okay? That is according to the definitions of Merriam-Webster. So, isa pa dito guys is a natural instinctive state of mind derived from one's circumstances, mood, or relationship with others. So, ang tawag natin doon ay, or it was defined, okay, by Oxford. Okay? So, some theories agrees that describing emotions is a process that is not as simple as we think. Okay? So, kumbaga, may mga theorists, na, kumbaga, napagkasunduan nila or they agree with one another when it comes on the definitions of emotions, wherein they see it as not as simple. 'Di ba? Hindi siya ganoon kasimple na kagaya ng iniisip natin na pag sinabing emotion, emotion lang. 'Di ba? So, kumbaga, may mas malalim pang ibig sabihin yung tinatawag nating emotions, okay? So, it is not as simple as feelings, okay? Although, casually, pinag-uusapan natin siya or we do an interchanging with them in everyday language. Okay? So, look at the illustration here. Okay? So, from the illustration, as you can see, yung babae na nasa picture. Okay? She was surrounded by different emotions in her life. Okay? She was surrounded by anger, by fear, 'di ba? By anong tawag dito? By disgust, 'di ba? So, usually kasi talaga ang isang tao talaga is napapaligiran talaga yan ng iba't ibang klase ng emosyon. And these emotions is kumbaga na-identify lamang siya once you get to know or get to interchange with that individual. Okay? So, the dictionary definitions already present the components that is making up the emotion. Okay? Either you perceive and react to something, pwedeng ito yung mga pangyayari, the external events sa buhay mo. Let's say, for example, is nawala yung cellphone mo, nalungkot ka kasi wala siya, di ba? So, isa yung sa mga external happenings or external events na pwede mangyari na maka-apekto sa emotions mo. Kasi nga sa panahon ngayon, ang kabataan, pag nawala ang cellphone nila, o nawalan sila ng cellphone, ano na yung nararamdaman nila? Unang-una, nalulungkot sila. They feel devastated. Diba? So, nawalan ka ng mahal sa buhay, knock on wood, diba? So, isa sa mga number 1 na nakakaapekto sa emosyon ng isang tao. Okay? Another one is something that is experienced in your body or what we call physiologically. Okay? Yung mga changes na nangyayari sa katawan mo, halimbawa, yung pimples, 'di ba? Nagkaroon ka ng maraming tigdig sa muka, nagkaroon ka ng pimples, 'di ba? So, naturally, you show yourself or used to see yourself in the mirror or look at yourself in the mirror. And then, lagi mong naiisip o lagi mong napupuna na ano ba to? Ang dami ko namang pimples. Paano ko kaya tatanggalin? You feel very conscious when it comes on how you look or what you look. 'Di ba? So, another one is the expression in form of facial or body language. 'Di ba? Minsan kasi doon siya nakikita Diba? Pag galit ka, natural nakikita sa mukha mo kung galit ka talaga. 'Di ba? So, in short, there are what we call cognitive, physical and behavioral aspect of emotion. So, alamin nga natin yung tatlong yon, yung 3 aspect of emotion. Okay? Number 1 aspect of emotion is what we call cognitive aspect, It refers to the evaluation of the event or situation. Okay? Maybe it's about your personal interpretation. Okay? Are you scary? Do you feel funny? 'Di ba? Yun yung sa physical aspect of emotions 'Di ba? Another one is the that is a cognitive aspect of emotion. Okay? Sa physical aspect of emotion naman is when you feel anxious, sometimes you feel that you are experiencing increasing heart rate, cold hands, sweating, 'di ba? So usually sa physical aspect, it goes around or this affect inside your body, okay? Physiologically. Okay? Let's say for example, nakita mo yung favorite cartoon mo, 'di ba? Nung bata ka. Ang unang-una mong mararamdaman is you burst into happiness. So, tuwang-tuwa ka. Wow, paborito ko yan nung bata ako. Diba, the expression itself is makikita na ikaw ay masaya. Okay? And then, another one, diba? Yung kapag ka ikaw ay kinakabahan. Diba? Pag kinakabahan ka, sometimes you feel that your heart is increasing its rate. Diba? Sometimes you feel sweating, 'di ba? Sometimes you feel that your hands is getting cold, 'di ba? So, yun yung mga isa sa halimbawa ng tinatawag nating physical aspect. Okay? Next one is the behavioral aspect naman. Guys, sa behavioral aspect, dito number 1 na nakikita yung emosyon ng isang individual. Pag masaya siya, pag malungkot siya, pag natatakot siya. 'Di ba? So, sometimes being surprised may lead you to drop your jaw or widen your eyes or scream. 'Di ba? So, minsan yun doon siya nakikita So, sa behavior aspect, it is a toward expression of your emotion. Okay? So, sometimes there are terms that we often connect, when it comes on swapping your emotions, Alamin natin kung ano yun. Unang-una is the feelings represent by emotion that is subjected by personal in nature. Okay? These are emotions that are intense or have an internal feelings. Sumunod naman guys are the moods or less specific. Okay? So, yung moods naman, according to the definitions of Hayson in 2012. By the way, to go back with yung feelings that is represented by emotion, it was discovered and written by Witten in 2014. Okay? So, dito sa sinulat ni Hayson noong 2012, sabi niya, yung mood daw is very less specific. Hindi mo ma-identify agad yung mood mo. Okay? So, wala siyang time duration, either hindi siya tumatagal, Hindi siya tumatagal, but okay, it has a less intense than emotions. Bakit? Because the emotions has a shorter duration but are more specific when it comes on reaction. Okay? So, psychologists have more detailed accounts of emotions, At isa na dito si Paul Ekman, okay? Na sumulat ng isang libro tungkol sa emotion noong 1980. Okay? So, he did a study using photographs of different facial expressions, Pinag-aralan niya yung... So, according to him, there are different emotions that has what we call cultural or cross-culturally. Okay? Pag sinabi nating nagko-cross-cultural ang emotions, meaning to say, the switching of emotions ang tawag natin doon. So, halimbawa na lamang yung takot, Once you feel a fear, ang nagiging ang nag-i-turn out that your fear become an anger. 'Di ba? Then, sumunod naman, yung joy naman is yung masaya ka ngayon, mamaya, disgusted ka na. Diba? Yun yung kabaligtaran niya, ika nga, diba? While the anticipation is a surprise, okay? So, yun daw yung surprise niya. Yan. Then, sadness is, ang kabaligtaran naman niya is acceptance. Okay? So, as you can see here in the illustration, sinasabi dito that our emotion is connected, connected, or our heart is connected with our mind. It is because handling emotion is a key aspect of emotional intelligence. Okay? So, pag sinabi nating emotional quotient, it is an awareness of one's emotion and the ability to understand the emotion of others. So, the ability to express and control emotions is very essential. So, kumbaga, yun daw abilidad natin, na maintindihan yung nararamdaman ng ibang tao, ng kapwa natin, at the same time is to control our own emotions. Napaka-importante daw niyan. Okay? So, imagine a world in which you could not understand when a friend was feeling sad and when a co-worker was angry. 'Di ba? So, parang ang hirap-hirap, ang bigat sa pakiramdam pag gano'n, Kung halimbawa ikaw ay nasa trabaho, tapos yung mga kasama mo is always feeling sad. Tapos mayroon ka pang co-worker na galit na galit sa'yo. Ay paano ka pa magtatrabaho ng maayos, 'di ba? So, some researchers suggest that emotional intelligence can be learned and strengthened. 'Di ba? While others claim it's an inborn characteristic. So, may mga researchers na they suggested na yung emotional intelligence daw ng isang tao, yung ilan doon is natututunan. Okay? Natututunan nila ito at kumbaga napagtitibay nila. So sa paanong paraan? Let's say for example yung bata, when a child is at the age from the age of 7 to 10 years old, highly emotional yan. 'Di ba? Kumbaga parang building stage yung panahon na yon during the 7 to 10 years old. Okay? So, kumbaga dun sa stage na yon, sa panahon na yon, highly emotional yung bata at konting bagay lang is nagiging aggressive. Minsan nagiging iyakin pa. 'Di ba? So, habang tumatanda, habang lumalaki ang isang individual, is unti-unti niyang natututunan kung paano niya kontrolin yung sarili niyang emosyon. Tama ba? Meron namang mga klase ng emosyon na bata ka pa lang meron ka na. Halimbawa na lamang yung pag-iyak, yung anong tawag dito? Nalulungkot ka. 'Di ba? Bata ka pa lang meron ka na niyan. Yung pagiging malungkutin. Yung masiyahin. 'Di ba? Alam niyo yung co-teacher ko, yung isa sa mga teachers niyo, yung baby niya, namanan niya yung pagiging jolly niya dun sa mother niya. 'Di ba? Kasi ito si Ma'am mention ko na siya, si Ma'am Karen, si Ma'am Karen Ramos. Niyang tao, masayahin, lagi siyang good vibes, 'di ba? Most especially nung buntis siya, 'di ba? Lagi siyang bangka, kumbaga sa aming mga kwentuhan. As in, talagang masayahin talaga siya. 'Di ba? Very jolly person. So, nung nanganak siya, yung baby niya, na siya ngayon, 1 taon na. 'Di ba? Masayahin, laging nakangiti. 'Di ba? So, yung emosyon na yon, yung pagiging jolly, 'di ba? Nung anak ni Ma'am, is namanan niya sa kanya. 'Di ba? So, yun yung isa sa mga halimbawa, Actually, ginawa ko lang siya halimbawa doon sa sinasabi dito, about the emotions that can be learned. Okay? And some emotions are inborn when it comes on characteristic. Okay? So, according to Salovey and Mayers, they were the one who provided the different informations about the emotion and come up with their theories. Kumbaga, nagkaroon ng combinations of study si Salovey at saka si Mayers. Okay? So, si Peter Salovey at saka si John D. Mayer started to study about the emotion on 1990, and they defined the emotion as organized responses when it comes on physiological, cognitive, experiential, motivational, okay? In order to when it comes on internal and external, okay? Pwedeng by events that may have positive or negative effect, okay? On the adjustment of an individual. So, Salovey and Mayer define emotional intelligence as a subset of social intelligence that involves the ability to monitor one's own and others' feelings. Yan. So, sabi nila, according to their study, yung emotional intelligence daw is yung kakayanan ng isang individual na ma-monitor o malaman yung sarili niyang emosyon, and at the same time is yung feelings ng ibang tao. So, to discriminate among them and use this formation to guide one's thinking and action during that time, Salovey and Mayer clearly indicates the function of emotional intelligence, that is to regulate thinking and behavior. Ayan. So, yun yung naging nila, naging pag-aaral nila. So, they identify the different key components of emotional intelligence as appraisal and expression of emotion, that is to management of emotion and using emotion to serve a purpose. Okay? So, the purpose daw, the purpose of emotions are what we call thinking, planning, attention, and motivation, according to them. So, Salovey and Mayer believe that having a good EQ has a positive effect on mental health. Yan. So, naniniwala sila na yung pagkakaroon ng emotional quotient ng isang individual has a positive effect when it comes on their mental health. And having a good EQ means that you are aware of your feelings and are open to experience, when it comes on a clear awareness when it comes on feelings that lets you know how to manage them. And in case you experience ease and good sense of well-being. Ayan. Sumunod naman guys is Goldsman Theory. So this Goldsman Theory guys naman was established during 1995 and popularized and expanded by the theory developed by Salovey and Mayer in his book. Okay? So, ito ay, kumbaga, inano ni Daniel Goleman Anong tawag dito? Inelaborate niya pa. Mas pinalawak niya pa yung pag-aaral, tungkol doon sa theory ni John D. Mayer at saka ni Peter Salovey. Okay? So, according to him, he included the role of social skills in the process of establishing meaningful relationship and recognized the meaningful relationship as having a good effect when it comes on individual's growth. Yan. So, para daw kay Daniel Goleman, is napaka-importante daw nung social skills ng isang individual in order for him or her to develop his individual growth. Kumbaga parang kailangan is meron siyang meaningful relationship. Okay? Not just to his family but also to other people. So sabi niya, vitality arises from sheer human contact, most especially from loving connections. Okay? So this makes the people we care about most an elixir of sorts and ever-renewing source of energy. Okay? So, yun yung pag-aaral ni Goleman, okay, about the emotions. Okay? So, here are the different aspect of emotional intelligence, according to Goleman. Ito yung 5 domains pala, okay? The 5 domains of emotional intelligence. These are the social skills, motivational, the empathy, self-regulations, and self-awareness. So, isa-isahin natin, kung ano ito. So, unang-una guys, one of the domain of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. So, pag sinabi natin self-awareness, it refers to the capacity to recognize and understand emotions and to have a sense of how one's action, moods, and emotions of others take effect. Okay? So, having a self-awareness also includes recognizing that how we feel and what we do are related and having awareness of one's own personal strengths and limitations. Yan. So, sumunod naman, number 2 is self-regulation or what we call self-management. So, this aspect of EI involves the appropriate expression of your emotion. So, ito yung tamang pag-handle sa emotions mo effectively, Yung bang kahit nagagalit ka na, nakukuha mo pang ngumiti. Diba? That is self-management na tinatawag. You yourself has what we call self-regulations, The self-regulations includes being flexible, coping with change, and managing the conflict. Okay? It is also to diffuse, difficult or tense situation and being aware of how one's action affect others and take ownership of this action. So, yun yung self-regulation and self-management. So, number 3 is the social skills. Okay? So, the social skills naman refers to interacting well with other people. So, dito sa social skills, ipinapakita dito yung involvement when it comes on applying your understanding about your emotions and to other people. 'Di ba? So sa social skills, pumapasok dito yung dapat naiintindihan ng isang individual yung emosyon na meron siya at the same time yung emosyon ng ibang tao. Okay? So, these are the different social skills, active listening, verbal communication skills, non-verbal communication skills, leadership, and developing rapport. Yan. Yun daw yung iba't ibang klase ng social skills. Next, number 4 is what we call the empathy. When we say empathy, it refers to being able to understand how other people are feeling. Okay? So, it corresponds to the appropriate to other people based on recognizing their emotions. And this means understanding and mirroring what others are feeling. Okay? Then, number 5 is the motivation. Yan. Pag sinabi nating motivation, usually, when considered as a component of EI, it refers to intrinsic motivation. Pag sinabi nating intrinsic motivation, it means that an individual is driven to meet personal needs and goals. 'Di ba? So, kumbaga parang dun sa part na yon, ang isang tao, pag na-recognize daw niya yung motivation, he has the guts or motivated siya, or driven siya, okay, to meet his own goal in life, okay, rather than being motivated by external rewards such as money, fame, and recognition, diba? So, making use of your emotion to continue what you are doing to achieve, okay, is your goal even in the face of difficulty. Yan. So, yun daw yung mga different domains of emotional intelligence. So, sa susunod na meeting, we will discuss naman about the effective ways of managing emotions. Okay? Alamin natin yung mga iba't ibang paraan kung paano natin mamamanage yung ating emotion. We will also discuss about how to use our emotional intelligence and the different tips when it comes on improving our EI or emotional intelligence. Okay? So, that will be our topic for today about the understanding emotions. Okay?